Sav'aaq. I've noticed plenty of Tears of the Kingdom fans talking about the Hoverbike. Hoverbike? I could moider a cup of coffee right now. Wait, I've got coffee. Talking about the Hoverbike 2.0, a vehicle build that improves on the popular hoverbike build by making just a few subtle changes. Whacked my hand on the desk there. What if I tell you that a new hoverbike has been discovered that blows the 2.0 out of the water? And what if I told you that that not only exists, but I'm going to tell you how to make it? Firstly though, I should point out that while this version of the bike is made from the same 3 components as the previous versions, a steering stick and 2 fans, it also requires one important new feature, which you might refer to as the railing or girder. This recently discovered new building item is a little bit tricky to get hold of, but I have a video about this already. Go check out my previous video about how to get the girder / railing. This is what I like to call the mini plane. I also think of it as the Hoverbike 3.0 because it is technically a version of that same build, the only difference being the addition of the railing. But the railing does look like a pair of wings, so it makes it look like a little aeroplane, which is adorable. I'm not sure who first came up with this, but it's starting to get some attention, and now that I've built one for myself, I can see why. There are some cons, of course, no build is perfect, but there are some definite pluses which I feel far outweigh the few minor cons. The addition of the railing somehow gives the mini plane so much more control than previous versions of the hoverbike. Although I don't think the railing was designed this way intentionally, it seems to kind of serve as a set of wings because it really does add some extra control and it kind of feels more like you're gliding along. I don't know if that's just mentally the effect it has because it looks like wings, but it really feels smooth. And look at that turning circle. The mini plane seems to be able to descend that little bit faster, which is very handy for landing. It's only slight, but it still technically is ahead, so this counts as a pro. Another pro is that although you need the railing to build it, it's that little bit easier to build once you have got the railing. It seems to be easier to line up the fans straight. I had a little bit of trouble getting them dead in the middle, but trying to build the Hoverbike 2.0, I found it really difficult to line the fans up at just the right angle with the steering stick. And if it's off by just that little bit, it makes a massive difference to how the bike performs. However, I found that with the mini plane, even when I hadn't quite lined it up right, and the steering stick and fans were just a little bit to the right, as I noticed during flight, it didn't really make a difference to the performance of the vehicle. I think it had maybe a tiny bit of drag to the right, but overall the railing / wings seemed to keep the vehicle kind of level, so that is certainly an advantage. There's one more pro, but I'm going to save that for a bit later because it's really cool and it deserves its own part of the video. The vertical climb seems to be very slightly slower. I mean fractionally, so it really doesn't make much difference, but again, since it's technically that bit slower, I'll put it in cons. The increased width of the vehicle may make it a bit difficult to maneuver around objects, especially when you've not got much space. But since most spaces in the game are wide open areas, this should rarely be an issue. Still, the Hoverbike 2.0 is that little bit better for those small spaces, so this is technically a con. The biggest con has to be the fact that you need a railing to build it, so it does cost that extra 3 zonite to build. I actually cheated a little bit by using an auto build of the previous hoverbike, and I just removed the back fan. Then all I had to do was line up the girder, attach it to the steering stick like this, and attach the other fan to the back at this angle. But here's a tip for making sure I've lined it up straight. If you take the entire build and rotate it, you can use those rotation lines as guides. I was flying the mini plane around and I realised something. There's some empty space there either end of the wings. That is prime real estate, my friend. This needs to be weaponized. Of course, the Hoverbike 2.0 isn't going to go anywhere. People are still going to use it. I mean, it's not actually dead. Maybe that title is a little bit over dramatic just for, well, dramatic effect. But still, this is very clearly a superior vehicle, and people who want that extra bit of control are going to switch to it. Thank you for watching my video. Till the next one, Sav'aaq.